Every day, I meet high achievers who are dreaming about that business idea that they have or the side gig they want to get started. And they have the drive, they have the skills, they even have the money to make it happen. But let me tell you something, most of them, unfortunately, fail. And it's not because they're not smart, because they're super smart, but it's because all of them make this number one mistake. It's a mistake that pretty much wastes months of their time. It drains their energy, and honestly, it makes them feel in burnout before they even earn a single dollar. But don't worry, because today I'm not only going to tell you about the mistake, I'm going to tell you what can you do instead. So that way you can get started with that side gig idea that you have and making it happen. Are you ready? Let's get started. And let me tell you something, I know what it feels like. Being a corporate and by the eyes of other people, perhaps feeling that you are successful, but inside of you, there's still that burning desire that there is more. There's more impact, there's more freedom, there's more intentionality that you want to make happen. I've been there. But here's the thing, a lot of people think, and I say a lot of people because I include myself in that group, that I think, okay, I got the idea. I know what I'm going to do. So all I have to do is create the idea, put the strategy together, launch a website, and voila, it's going to happen. And unfortunately, that's not it. And let me tell you something, if you get this wrong, you're going to be spending months just spinning wheels and just being frustrated because you're going to go back to square one. And worst of all, you're going to think, this is not meant to be. This is not meant to be. This is not for me. Perhaps it's for others, but not for me. But let me tell you, that doesn't have to be the case. Here's the biggest mindset shift that I had to learn the wrong way, and I'm sharing with you. And it's after so many years in corporate, I believe that everything in life is linear. It's linear. You have a goal, you have a strategy, you execute it, and voila, you have results. And it's because somebody's telling you how they done it before, and it works the same way every year. And perhaps you're learning something new, but again, it's just linear. Every year, perhaps you get a little bonus. Every year, you get better. And it's all linear. You set the results, and voila. And you think it's the same thing outside. In the entrepreneur life, it's not linear. It's not linear. And the soonest you can make that mindset shift, the better it's going to be for you. So the number one mistake that I see all these professionals from corporate when they start to launch their side gig is that they treat it like a mini corporate project, meaning that, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to sell. I know exactly the strategy. So I'm going to focus on a beautiful logo and the website and the social media and everything instead of validating if the thing that you want to sell is something that people want. And I've seen time after time, even some of my clients, that they get frustrated because they say, oh, they already tried, it didn't work before they start working with me. But then I say, okay, what did you try? And I said, well, I know exactly what I wanted to sell. So I spent this many $1,000s on a website. I spent this many $1,000s in strategies on brand. I put my brand together. I was doing everything that they told me to do. And I had zero clients, $0. I spent months doing all of this work for nothing. And here's the thing, if you don't have a solid foundation, what's going to happen? It's like building a house in a very like funky foundation. It's just going to collapse. So the first thing, before logos, before colors, before even putting it a name on your offer, you need to validate that that concept that you have is going to work. And not only that it's going to work, but that people want it. When I first started my business, I thought that I was going to be focusing on helping leaders become better leaders because that's been all my experience. And then the more I tried to put everybody into this box, the more feedback I was getting. But Jenny, yes, I get other avenues on how I can get that. What I want to learn from you is about your branding. Like, how were you able to do that? And also your time management, because you were a mom, you were in corporate, you have several businesses, and you still made it happen. How do you integrate that? That's what I want to learn from you. So you start getting feedback from people, what exactly they need. And that's whenever you start adjusting and then getting more confidence and then better testimonials. So whenever you officially launch your new business and your offer, your chances of success are much higher than just guessing and putting something out there and just hoping for the best. Hope is not a strategy. But here's the good news, there is a way on how to fix the mistake, and it's not what you think it is. Here's the thing, you want to start small, test fast, and learn fast. And what can come in the way is this drive for perfection. That can be your enemy number one. There's no such thing as perfection. And again, from now on, especially when you start with a side gig or a side business, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the client that you're trying to serve. So instead of falling in love with your product, you fall in love with the client, with the person that you are trying to help. So let me give you some actionable steps here. Number one, you need to understand who is your ideal client. Who is your ideal client? I know from the surface, like, oh, woman, this age, working moms, that's too general. You have to get deeper into, okay, who is it? What are their pains? Right now, what would they dream about? What are the hesitations? What are their day to day life? Actually, put a name on that person, so that way, when you are speaking in social media, when you're crafting your offer, everything that you do when it comes to marketing, innovation, sales, it goes to who is your ideal client, this perfect client. Then number two, collect feedback, because that way you really get to know not only their pain points, but also the lingo they use whenever they describe the pain and their wants and their desires. And you don't have to spend any money at this point. Just look in your community, be very resourceful with the resources that you have, and just do a little bit like a focus group. Start asking questions about, hey, where are you struggling right now? Where are some of your dreams? Where are some of the goals? If you had the perfect offer, what would that look like? Just start asking questions, because these are clues, these are inputs that are going to help you put in a very, very solid offer, because you know that people need it and you know why they need it. And again, we're still no website, no money on advertising, no money on anything, because if you don't have a solid foundation, all that money, you're just wasting it. You don't want to waste money. So the next step is you want to create a simple offer. Start with a simple offer, start with just a couple of clients, and then see, get testimonials, get the feedback. What did they enjoy? What would they hope or they would like to have? So then you can add into your offer and make it even better for the next clients. Then from here on, you're in this whole loop of getting feedback and refine, getting feedback and refine. And again, you don't have to be perfect. Perfection is going to be your enemy. You just have to be intentional and really be authentic. Be authentic, because the right client is waiting for you, not for a copy of you, not for this pretend you, for you, your energy, your experience, and what you have to offer. And let me give you a big bonus. Sometimes in corporate, we are trained to get compensated for the amount of time that we are serving. Here, do not trade time for money. Don't say, hey, I charge this amount of dollars per hour. You are in the business of transformation. So think about what, especially if you're in the business, in the service area, industry, think about how this offer that I'm putting together is going to help transform your life. And they are paying you because they're investing on themselves and they want the transformation. Because again, they're not paying because they want to work with you. No, they want the thing that you are offering that can transform their life. Another thing to consider that I learned from Tony Robbins is that people tend to overestimate what they can do in the short term and then underestimate what can do in the long term. So remember, if you are in the business of creating a side gig or a small business that eventually you want to grow, you're here for the long term. So just have patience, but also get excited about the person that you're becoming every time you achieve a bigger milestone and the impact you have. And when you stop chasing for perfection and you focus on those real solutions, your side gig starts to become this business that is growing with momentum. And that's the difference about launching another failed idea versus just starting a very soul strong, bold brand. So, what can you do right now? Start brainstorming about what is that ideal client, but also take action. So, one bold action that you can take right now this week is identify at least one person that you can interview and get feedback. Ask them about the challenge that they have and see if you have the skills to help them. That's it. You just get started with a small intentional action. I mean, imagine finally starting that side business, that side gig with clarity and confidence and no more wasting and draining any kind of energy into a failed attempt, because you're getting started with intentionality and you're just making it better and better from now on. Hi, my name is Jenny Lopez, and I'm here to help you create that intentional, authentic, and bold brand so you can launch your next chapter. So make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments what questions do you have, because I want to give everything that I have to help you grow, because when we grow together, we grow stronger and bigger. I'll see you on the next video.